can assure you nobody's taking that hat for this year.
But I hope he will retire after he loses.
There won't be another coach. I'm impressed with everybody but him.
It's because they're scared that they may be wrong.
Fully capable of surpassing all of them.
I'm going to give her a run for her money.
I'm coming to win. I'm not coming for fun.
Fair and unfortunate.
He's going to come with losses. It's not the end of the world.
Need for a black curtain backdrop, and I get it.
Bodybuilding is my control within chaos.
My conditioning kills.
Look, you got a really exclusive interview because I ain't been saying none of this shit, yo. I've been holding my tongue on the internet.
Yes, guys, Suki from BTS TV. I've got the champ. I mean, look, we spoke about it the other week. I had to get back on. Steph, how you doing?
I feel amazing. Great. I kind of knew this was going to be my best showing because, as I told you last time, if I were to get to that weight, I know that everything will come down and it will show the work. You know what I mean? So I feel amazing. I'm back at the Olympia. It's the third time Olympia qualification, and I feel warmed up for it. So I'm excited.
Well, look, I mean, I dropped that post of you saying that you're going to win. Obviously, to add some context to it, it was if you come in 100% at your very best, then you believe you're going to win. And we saw the comments. You know, it was very mixed. Just like anybody, when it comes to confidence, there is people just don't like that. Someone speaking something into existence. But you had the last laugh.
Yep, I loved it. I was laughing now. I mean, look, to be honest with you, I had so many supporters and so many people that were rooting for me and love my look and love my work. And these are the people that I focus on, you know? And again, I love this and I do it for me at the end of the day. People can talk. At the end of the day, I'm the one stepping on stage and showcasing the work that I've done, you know?
Well, look, we got it now. Let's talk about the Olympia now, because we talked a little bit in the last one, and of course it was like, well, let's not use that because let's get you qualified. And now you've qualified. You did exactly what you said you're going to do. Bring your best. You listened to judges. You cleaned up. You got the win. Silence anybody who thought it wasn't going to happen. And now you're going into the big dance in Vegas.
Yes.
And one thing I've said to quite a few people as well is what I'm really happy about that you're going to Olympia is you are bringing that excitement to the division, because there's not many people in other divisions who are speaking things into existence, you know, showcase our confidence of where they want to be. Let's use, for example, Ali Bilal in men's physique. I mean, he's saying straight away, I'm going to win, I'm going to win. But then you don't hear it in other divisions too much.
I think a lot of people are just trying to stay humble, and I don't think it changes the fact like you can be humble and still confident. That has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, what about the Olympia you were saying?
Well, look, let's talk about Olympia. I mean, first off, let me go one step back. Judges' feedback. Last time you told me what the feedback was and you put that into work. Yes. What was the feedback this time around?
Wow. So I got to the head judge was waiting for us backstage. I got to her and she was like playing with my hair. She was like, I wish you were inside me to feel what I felt when I looked at you on that stage. I was like, wow. Like she saw that change I've done from Sin City to, which was a 2-week difference, to that show in Texas. She was like, this is what we're looking for. This is wellness. That's what we want. Makeup, posing, hair, everything was on point. And she was like, because of your quads, I had to put down for every single one of these other athletes, they need more quad sweep, quad sweep, quad sweep. People think that they are aiming for a smaller look in wellness, but the truth is they are aiming for a certain look. It's not about just size, but it's not also aiming to the smaller end. They are looking for a certain look. Like, for example, Rayani, Isa, Francielli, Elisa, they all have different looks. Some of them are bigger than the other, but they all still fit the criteria differently, right? And they showcase what wellness is. It's a structure that they want to see. And that's what I learned over time, and that I nail. And that's what I've been saying. I have the look. I have the size. I know it's there. It was only a matter of conditioning with me. That's what Steve told me. That is what the head judge told me. Even on in the previous show, no one complained about my size. All they said was it's a matter of conditioning. And this is why when I got to this show, I even beat the girl that beat me last 2 weeks ago. So it was always a matter of that conditioning. I think if I come in a little bit better for the Olympia, I'm definitely going to make something amazing there.
You say make something amazing there.
Yes.
What define that? What would that? What
I'm
that,
aiming
what
for.
that look like?
I am aiming for top 5 this year, and with all the hard work that I have put in, I'm not gonna let anyone tell me that that I'm too confident. Yes, I will be confident. I have put in years of work, sacrifice for this very moment. So I want to see me skyrocket the Olympia. I want to see that happen by the year. Yes, I aim for top 5, even top 3 if I can. You know what I mean? This is what I want.
You mentioned my top 3 because one thing I was going to say was you have the big 3, Fran,
Yes.
Eduarda, and Isa, because of course they got the big wins. And my next question was, can you make that top 3 into the big 4? You got the big 3. Add yourself in there. Do we see yourself at this Olympia or maybe in the future that this is the big 4 in wellness? It's not just the big 3. It's also we need to add you in the mix, and that makes this is the big 4 of wellness.
Yes. Yes. You're saying if I can make it, like these are the standard. That's what you're trying to say.
Well, they're the big 3. The big 3 that people probably talked about to challenge for the wellness title is
Right.
Fran, obviously multiple Olympia champion, Isa, the current champion, Eduardo, the Arnold champion. They're the big 3 of the division. You just
Right.
mentioned that you believe that you can get a top 5, maybe even push into the top 3. What I'm saying is, should the conversation not just be about these 3, the conversation should also be talking about yourself being a genuine contender to break into our top 3.
Yes, 100%. I believe it. It's me. I'm gonna say that.
So let's look at that, because one thing everyone's really excited about the wellness, because the wellness is thriving. It's getting stronger and stronger
Yes.
every year, and it requires personalities, characters like yourself to put wellness on the map and create the desirable look that people want to achieve. And you've
Right.
done that. You've done that for so many years. Those 3 then. Let's start with Isa, the reigning Olympia champion. If there was a first call out and you are next to her, where do you believe that maybe you could have the potential beating offer to challenge for the hold into that top 5 or maybe even push into the top 3?
I would say my front pose beats her easily.
Easily?
Yes.
Why easily?
I think I definitely have, her front pose was always a struggle for her. She's also mentioned that before. It's not her favorite shot. I would say her torso and then her legs. But in my case, I believe I have more size there, and I believe I bring a little bit of more of an hourglass shape looking. So I think my front pose does definitely beat her there. When it comes to the side and the back shot, she's pretty good there, 100%. So it could be comparable, you know?
Have the judges from the last 2 shows, their feedback, have they been applauding your front look? Do they feel that it's one of your biggest strengths, that when you come on, it's literally eyes on you?
Yeah. Well, they actually spoke about my front pose. They said that smashed the lineup.
Okay.
Your front pose smashed everyone. Yeah, it was amazing. I've always known that was my strongest pose, but now my back shot has usually was always my weakest pose. But I've worked so hard on bringing the glutes up that now I can say, oh, it's there. It's gonna be dangerous, you know. So yes, that's why I believe that I can really be in that top 5. I think right now I bring a balanced look there, and I have everything well developed, and I bring the hourglass shape with the posing, with the makeup. I worked really hard on everything to showcase that. And so, yes, I will be in the top 5 this year. I want to be in the top 5, and I will not stop till it's there.
You believe your front shot easily beats Isa. What
Yes.
about Fran?
What, Francielli?
Yes.
Ooh. I think I don't want to say anything yet because I've always looked at Francielli as she is the epitome of wellness.
Yeah.
Because she has this, like, even in the front shot, you can see the glutes make the hourglass, and her waist is so small. It builds this like crazy hourglass shape. I think in her case, Francielli, if she brings up her legs this season and she brings them a little bit more balanced with her glutes, then she would be dangerous. The reason why last year she didn't do well was that it was her legs. They were too small in comparison to her glutes. So if she were to bring that, then she'll be dangerous. Yes.
She brings that. Do you think she will get back her title that she lost to Isa?
I definitely think so. I see her as the most dangerous. I still see her as the most dangerous. Even if she lost last year to second, I still think she was the one who was reigning champ. She's the most dangerous in that lineup. Yes. She has wonderful posing. She's beautiful and she presents herself really well.
What about the Arnold champion, Eduarda? I mean, she beat Isa at the Arnolds, which was obviously a big statement going into this Olympia.
I think that Isa was not as sharp as she was at the Olympia, at the Arnolds.
I agree.
But if she did come in sharp, then maybe she would have won the Arnolds. So I won't judge that one because I still think Isa, in my opinion, is much better than Eduarda. She's much more denser. She has much more separation going on in her back shot. Again, if she came in sharper. So I have to go for Isa. I go for Isa and Francielli before Eduarda.
You know, we mentioned about like if you aim, you believe you can get a top 5, but at the same time as well, you think that if sometimes maybe someone leaves the door open, that you could maybe even creep into the top 3. I mean, I know that might be maybe next year, but you talk about it could happen this year.
Yes.
Do you think if it was to happen this year, that the top 3 would be, by what you're saying, you, Isa, and Francini?
Well, let's not forget Elisa. You know Elisa? She's
of course.
She's pretty good too. I look.
But I'm going by the 2 that won the Olympia title, so therefore
I am comparable to these girls right now. Yes, I am comparable to these girls right now. I think I can definitely sneak my way there if I bring my all-time best to the Olympia. Something even better, sharper than Texas show. I think so. Yeah.
How do you compare yourself then with the current Arnold champion and Eduarda? Because that's obviously where I spoke to before. Yourself, and because look, whether Isa was at her best or not, in the end, she controls what she brings onto the stage, and you only can compete what you're up against. So therefore, Eduarda getting the most, getting the second biggest win after the Olympia title. You know, Olympia title wins number 1, wins Arnold. She's got the Arnold win. You're going to go up against her as well, and you imagine that she'll be in my top 5 as well. Where do you see you against Eduarda? Where do you see that you could beat her?
If it were to, because obviously, first of all, I'm speaking of myself and my work ethic and the hard work that I've put.
Of course.
If it were up to me, I would see myself in 3rd or 4th against Elisa, Isa, and Francielli. I don't see Eduarda as a threat at all. I have never seen her as a threat. I think for me, these are the threats that I carry. It's Elisa, Isa, and Francielli. That's why I'm saying I'll be in the top 5, possibly top 3.
Why do you not see Eduarda as a threat when she's the Arnold champion?
Because, well, if you want to go by titles, they like her look, they love her structure. She definitely brings the wellness look in her case. When I look at her, I still think she has more to put on size. First. Second, I think her glute ham tie-ins can come in sharper. They were never as sharp. So I think it's a lack of maybe density. I also believe that she has done a lot of improvements going up to this Olympia. I believe it. She has. I've seen the photos, and I think she's coming in a lot better than she did last year. She's only going to continue to progress, right? But I still, if I were to compare her to Francielle and Isa, I think these girls are much more advanced than she is. They're way up there, and she needs to catch up. If I were to talk about size, but they like her look because she has a very small waist, and she brings the structure. You know what I mean? But when I look at density, I don't see that as a threat. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Because I also don't want to disregard the fact that she is an Arnold champion, yes, and she has done a lot of accomplishments, and a lot of people think I hate her. I don't know her to hate her. I just don't think it should be rewarded, in my opinion, yet. But if the judges love it, then they know better, right? And they like it. I don't. It's my opinion, just as much as everyone has an opinion on me, and they don't like my look, and they don't think it should be rewarded. But yet, I was rewarded for it. Everyone has an opinion towards an athlete. That's my opinion towards her. She's just pretty.
So let's go back to yourself then, because we saw a dominating win, even with judges agreed, over Texas. What percentage do you believe that you were at your? How much more do you have in the tank to come into Olympia to take that physique even further? Given the fact that we're about 4.5 weeks away.
I have a lot, actually. Like I am more than ready going into the Olympia. I know that there's more in me to give, actually more than ever, right now. I think, like I said, if I come in just a smidge tighter to bring, because when I saw my side shots on stage, I think it could come in a little bit tighter, even though the judges really like that conditioning. They think this is perfect. I think coming up in comparison to Isa, Francielle, Elisa, etc., I should be a little bit tighter, because you want to consider also the competitors you're competing against, and you want to be comparable there. So it could come in tighter on the side shot and my glute ham tines, and then I think that's going to be very dangerous. So I have a lot in my tank right now. It's like I'm on fire.
When do you head to Vegas?
A week out.
A week out.
I'm planning a week out from the Olympia. Yes, because I did talk to Isa. I'm filming with her after the show.
Amazing.
So yeah, I want to see her, and then I want to see Francielle if I can get a film with Francielle. Everyone wants me to film with Rayani too. It's just we were so far apart when we were at Muscle Contest, so we couldn't make it. But I want to get as much content with these girls. I have never done that. Yeah.
Well, is Olympia going to be your last show of the year, or any other shows afterwards, looking into 2026 qualification, if it's required? If it's required.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I place top 3,
exactly.
If I place top 3, it's fine. I'm good. But if I don't, then I have a goal to definitely apply for the Arnolds. Okay. I want to do the Arnolds, and I want to do the big shows. I want to go to Pittsburgh. I want to do New York Pro. Because I'm technically ready. I'm like, whatever, I can just keep going, and I'm mentally okay. I think maybe a short break in between would be fine. That's why I'm aiming for Arnold's and then Pittsburgh, New York Pro.
Is that just Arnold, Ohio, or also Arnold, UK, which is like a week later?
Yeah, it's a week later. I don't know about the UK. It's a lot of shows if I do that as well, because I've got Pittsburgh and New York Pro. That's part of my plan. But again, if I place top 3, I don't need to worry about that. My coach is like top 3. He's like top 3.
That's it. Yeah. I want to ask something else. That's nothing to do with Olympia.
Yeah.
How would you? Obviously, I cover all divisions, so I see how the bikini community is different to maybe the men's physique community. Like when I see comments, they get behind their own bikini. It's all very friendly. They all support each other. In the open division, it's like Team Derek and Team Nick, Team Hardy. If Nick does a post, you got all the Persian and Iran supporters saying Hardy. If Derek does a post, there's all the Nick fans.
Yeah.
How is the wellness community different to maybe other divisions?
Honestly, I think it's quiet. It's like the girls backstage are actually very supportive of one another. Like, we're all friends, you know, like Giselle is friends with me, Ryan is, but on stage they're competitive, you know? On stage, obviously you have to be aiming for the title, but outside of that, I think they're very nice to one another. They're not rude. But I also think it's like boring at this point, you know, like let's make it a little bit entertaining. Entertaining. But I think it's just their characters. They're all friendly. They're Brazilians. See, I learned something about Brazilians because I had a really good friend of mine. Her name is Fafa. She's like a big influencer. And they are like family. Like the way they support each other, it's like they're sisters. So everyone supports one another. If the Brazilians are winning, they consider themselves winning. It's like that. So that's why we have mainly a lot of Brazilians competing in wellness, and then the rest of the girls are just maybe quiet. So it's friendly, I would say, very friendly.
Yeah,
Except for that one time between Issa and Francielli, but I don't know what happened then. I don't know what.
I've always felt that. Yeah, I mean, look, that's not taking away that, you know, in the end, everyone's respectable backstage. And of course, on stage, you got a job to do, and that's to get the win.
Yeah.
But then I always look at who's creating hype, who's creating a storyline
Exactly.
leading into Olympia that's going to get people from other divisions or other fans of other divisions to cross over and say, I need to tune in for wellness.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about when I say it's become boring because no one has a story to tell. It has to do mainly with your story. It doesn't have to necessarily be about fighting with one another. You know, it has to do with you as a person, something that people can relate to. This is why I've recently done a YouTube video. I filmed a YouTube video on my story because I know that that would actually people can relate, and I know that some people feel lonely when going through these things. Um, so yeah, I think it has to do when you create hype, it has to do with a great story to tell and you being a fierce fighter, a warrior, never want to give up, always aiming high. Having character is important and character with confidence. That's why I show myself this way. I'm assertive, I'm confident, I'm all that. I'm not arrogant. I'm just confident and assertive. That's what I am. So I think this is the hype.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, before we wrap it up, I want to ask you this then. I'm going to get a couple of predictions. Let me throw this one for the wellness division of Olympia. What do you think could be the biggest shock that could happen at this year's wellness division at Olympia that, you know, if the odds maybe do not favour that? What do you think could be the biggest shock? It could be down to a certain competitor placing maybe not where they need to, or maybe someone jumping over other people actually challenging for a certain high place. What do you?
I
What do you
mean,
think the big shock could be?
by far, I think in all, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, all the wellness, the years of since wellness has been at the Olympia, the top five have all been Brazilians.
Yep.
So the biggest shock would be someone not Brazilian in the top five. That would be a big shock. Again, because I understand why they have the structure, but I think this year someone is gonna cross over and not be Brazilian. Yes, that would be it.
And if someone does that, they show everybody else the opportunity that it can be done.
Yes.
Because
yes.
right now, people probably see it as it's the Brazil division.
I think that they open doors to people having hope that they can also compete in wellness because a lot of girls I know are afraid because they're like, oh, Brazilians are competing, they're going to beat me. It's not true. It's not true. Yes, they are good, but you can be as good. You know, you can be as great. You just got to fucking work. So yeah, I think that would be the biggest shock, and I'm actually waiting for it. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Top 5 Olympia wellness prediction. 1st to 5th place.
God, why'd you put me in this position?
First to 5th place, how you see, if someone went to the bookies right now to put $1,000 on there to say, this is what I think the top 5 will be, what's your prediction?
It's going to be really difficult. Okay. For me, I would have Francielli winning this year. I would have Isa second. Third, I'd have Elisa. Fourth, I'd have me. Fifth, I'd have Eduarda. If it were my, like opinion. Obviously, judges different, but this is how I would have it.
Yeah. Well, look, you just say you're going to get into top 5 and even push towards top 3.
Yeah, I'm putting myself in the top 5. Manifest it.
I mean, look, you believe that you're going to break into our top 5. You believe that you can even challenge for our top 3. I guess to go one step further, you believe that one day you could be the standard
Olympia
of the world division.
Yes. I know what the judges see in me. I know what they say about me. I also know I don't know if you've seen that recent video of Tarek posting about me.
I did, yeah, on Olympia TV.
They really think I'm one of the greatest wellness Olympians out there. And for them to say that, it means a lot. The way I see it is I'm on the way. I'm on the way to catching that title. I believe everyone else is, but I think that I'm really close to that. And I believe that it's going to be mine. And then when it is mine, it will be very hard to take it back. I mean, from others. They won't be able to take it. When it is mine, I'm going to be a very, very dangerous.
Do you see that maybe happening in, 2-3 years? Or do you think it's going to take a little bit longer?
No, I see it happening within 2 years, max. Because of the improvements that I make, the way I calculate my improvements, and I make like big improvements by the year. So I don't give it more than 2 years.
And let's put it into the universe. When you do win the title, do you have a number of like how long you want your streak to be before maybe you wave goodbye?
I am going for like 6-7 time Olympia champ. I love this sport. I love this sport. When I win it, I am going again and again and again until I'm completely done. And that's going to be a while until I'm done. Maybe 7 times. I'm still 25 years old. I have like a lot of years left in me. So hopefully I win it sooner.
Wild place to wrap it up. I mean, basically we're saying that it could happen in the next 2 years, and then when it does happen, we're looking at like a 6-7 year streak.
Yeah, that would be the goal. Just like Sid Gillen. She's someone I look up to.
Who could be the person to topple the Brazilians to take the world title? Maybe I'm speaking to the person right now. Look, I appreciate your time once again. Congratulations on the massive win of the weekend. You said you were going to do it. You put it out there, and you backed it up with actions.
Yes.
Sometimes some people do, some people don't, and some people tend not to put it out there because they're afraid of the potential backlash, or they're afraid if they don't live up to what they're saying they do. But clearly you believe 100%, head and heart, that you're going to get the job done, and you did. Not only that, you had judges, you had Olympia TV then singing your praises, giving you huge momentum going into
that was amazing. Being seen felt amazing. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So look, and I'll see you at Olympia.
Thank you. I'll see you then.